A tale of two taxis. Uber arrives in South Africa. South Africa, the land of sunshine, braai, and taxi drama. You know it. When Uber rolled into South Africa, it wasn't all high fives and welcome brew. We already had a system. The minibus taxis. These guys are the lifeblood of our public transport, but their business model wasn't built on fancy apps and GPS tracking. So when Uber popped up with its shiny cars and promises of cheaper rides, things got tense. Imagine a lion watching a gazelle step onto its turf. Yeah, that kind of tense. Competition is healthy, right? Keeps everyone on their toes. But in South Africa, competition sometimes comes with a side of, let's just sort this out ourselves. And by sort this out, I mean some guys in old Toyota Quantum minibuses weren't too keen on sharing the road. They saw Uber as a threat, a fancy foreign interloper trying to steal their bread and butter. It's a classic case of the old versus the new, the informal versus the formal. Something had to give. And what gave, unfortunately, was peace on the streets. Okay. So remember that tension we talked about? Well, in some cases it boiled over, and by boiled over I mean actual physical violence directed at Uber drivers. We're talking intimidation, threats, cars being vandalized, even assaults.
One incident that really shook things up was the attack on an Uber driver in Pretoria. This driver was just trying to make a living, picking up a passenger, when a group of men, allegedly linked to the taxi industry, surrounded his car. They started banging on the windows, shouting threats and trying to drag him out. The driver was terrified, fearing for his life. He managed to escape, but his car was damaged, and the incident left him deeply traumatized.
Similar stories started popping up all over the country. Uber drivers were being targeted, their safety threatened, their livelihoods jeopardized. The violence wasn't just about competition, it was about sending a message. This is our turf, and we don't want you here. Now, let's be clear, violence is never the answer. But to understand why this was happening, we need to look at the bigger picture. This is about deep-seated economic anxieties, a struggle for control of a vital industry, and, yeah, maybe a little bit of we've always done it this way thrown in for good measure.
The traditional taxi industry in South Africa has a complex history. It emerged during apartheid, providing a lifeline for black South Africans who were excluded from the formal transportation system. Taxi associations became powerful players, often operating with their own set of rules and regulations. They saw Uber, with its app-based technology and perceived advantages, as a direct threat to their dominance and their livelihoods.
Adding fuel to the fire was the issue of regulation. The taxi industry felt that Uber was operating in a legal grey area, not subject to the same rules and regulations that they had to follow. The government's response, initially slow and somewhat ambiguous, further fueled the tension. So, what's being done about this whole mess? Well, it's complicated. The government, caught in the middle of this turf war, has been trying to find a way to regulate the ride-sharing industry without completely alienating the powerful taxi associations. They've introduced new regulations for e-hailing services like Uber, requiring them to obtain operating licenses and comply with certain safety standards.
The government has had to walk a fine line. On one hand, they need to support innovation and the benefits that come with it. On the other hand, they can't ignore the concerns of the traditional taxi industry, which plays a crucial role in our transportation system and our economy.
Uber, for its part, has also taken steps to address the safety concerns of its drivers. They've introduced features like GPS tracking, an emergency button in the app, and partnerships with security companies to provide rapid response in case of an incident.
We've been working tirelessly to ensure the safety of our drivers and passengers. Our goal is to create a safe, reliable, and affordable transportation option for everyone.
The situation remains tense, a reflection of the broader challenges facing South Africa. Inequality, unemployment, and a lack of access to opportunities are all simmering beneath the surface.
The path forward requires collaboration, understanding, and a commitment to addressing the root causes of these conflicts. Only then can we hope to find lasting solutions that benefit everyone involved.